All right, so I just ordered these aluminum diamond plate storage boxes for outside of my camper to go above my wheel wells, and really interested in checking this out and see what they look like. Oh man, I think these are gonna work out really good. And I should be able to store quite a bit of wiring, extension cords, outdoor lighting, miscellaneous tools in here. Even has a little bit of a rubber flange on there. Keys right there. All right, so first things first is I need to either get this light completely removed or relocated. You know, I'm not sure if it's the law you need this on the side of your cargo trailer. I mean, obviously I know you need these on the back. And I actually do have some lights here on the side and on the front, so I don't even know if this is even needed to keep this on, if I need to relocate it or not. But I'm going to do some quick Google searching and get this removed. Yeah, it looks like they're just screwed all the way through without a nut, so this should be pretty easy to remove. If I do relocate this, hopefully they give you enough wire to pull this back out or something. I'm sure I'm going to have to splice some type of wire. All right, got these screws removed. It's a little dirty, so I'm kind of wiping this up here. I plan on caulking around the perimeter of the base of this storage box on top of this wheel well. So obviously this stud sensor works on studs, but I'm curious if this will work. So I can actually physically hear and feel, it's like kind of spongy here, but right here there's an obvious stud, and right here is an obvious stud. You can see that's exactly centered on this wire, which is really nice. So that's a no-go. Figured it wouldn't work, so I'm definitely going to have to do the tap method to find the exact center of these 1-inch by 1-inch steel columns that go through this cargo trailer wall. I know at least when I was finishing off the inside of this, you know, I could easily reference where these studs are too, because they got screws here where they screwed this OSB liner to. So you can see there's one here, one here. They're exactly 16 inches apart. So I suppose I could measure from this edge here over to where this is and transpose these measurements to the outside to make sure. So yeah, I think about right here, and too late to turn back now. So I would say the middle of the fender is about right here. Sure, some of you are like, wait a second, you're using permanent black magic marker. A little brake cleaner will take that clean off. All right, just cut a little stick here so I can prop this up while I work on it. So being that I'm not going to use these, I just put 2 layers of heavy duty electrical tape on the end of the wires like this. Got some aluminum tinfoil tape. Try my best to seal this up as best as possible so this never shorts out. Then I encased it in this aluminum tape, and then I'm going to tape this up against the wall. So for whatever reason, I might take these back off. That way I can hook back up to this if I ever want to in the future, but I just don't see that happening. But at least they'll be out of the way. All right, just fold this up against the wall, and I put 3 layers of tinfoil tape on this. I made sure I started with the bottom layer first and overlapped the other layers over that. So if this ever does get water behind it, which I don't expect that to happen, I plan on caulking around this, but at least that way the water can shed over this tape. I just don't see this ever going bad. Plus this gives it a nice protective layer of this wire of the tinfoil tape against the new box. This is pretty spongy, so I feel like this will easily hide behind this new box, and this way will help protect these wires from vibrations from the box years down the road, so that these wires don't short out. All right, other side's done, good to go. So I've yet to screw these on, just kind of put them in place, just get an idea. But yeah, I think this is going to work out really good, and these flush up exactly perfect. This is 10 inches on the width of the wheel well, is exact depth of this box. I notice that I'm going to have to put some weight on the back of this one when I install this backside. You can see there's a little bit of a gap, but if I put a little bit of weight on this, you can see that kind of flushes out to a 90-degree corner. So I think that'll be perfect. I'll just have to keep that in mind when I'm mounting these up. But yeah, once I get these screwed on, these are going to look really, really nice. All right, so I got this pinned with 2 screws into the studs. I got 2 more to go here. I'm not gonna screw those home. I just got these in place to hold this in position. And I screwed 2 holes here to go through the fender. So if you can see those. And so I'm gonna bolt this with 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 at the bottom end of the fender. And before I do that, I'm gonna caulk this up. So I put some tape on here so I can get a nice caulk edge. And then I went up all the way around the perimeter. And I'm gonna put some in the front here too, so I got a nice caulk edge around this whole perimeter to seal this off really nice. All right, so here's my tape to mark out my studs. And I feel confident I'm hitting studs on that, especially as I was screwing into those. I feel some nice tension on that, so I think we're good. So I'm gonna take this off. The tape around the perimeter I'm gonna leave on because I want to get a nice caulked edge. So I'm gonna take this off. The thing I'm using here is stainless steel. Let's make sure this doesn't rust and bleed. So at least for attaching to the fender, I'm gonna have 1 fender washer. This is aluminum, it's kind of thin, so I want some nice bite rather than just the bolt head. I'm gonna get a nice wide fender washer that's gonna go through the bottom of my storage box, through the fender. I'm gonna put the same fender washer underneath along with a lock nut. So I got a really heavy bead of silicone around the perimeter. Put a bead of silicone at each screw hole. Got the old screw holes here. I just put some additional silicone attachment points here that really fuses to the wall and fender. All right, so before I put this washer down inside here, I put a nice little bead of silicone around each screw hole so that this washer can seal. Make sure that this doesn't leak. You know, this door has a rubber seal around it, and that'd be completely worthless if I didn't get this completely sealed around the screw holes and around the perimeter of the box. All right, so I got the perimeter of the box taped out on the box itself and around the wall and fender, so that way when I put my caulk joint on there, it produces a nice caulk edge. All right, got this all caulked up. Just gotta peel off this tape. All right, so we got 1 down, 1 more to go, and the caulk edges look absolutely perfect. And this thing is absolutely solid, especially once this caulk sets up. This thing is definitely not going anywhere, but it's gonna be nice having this extra storage. All right, 1 box is down, 1 more to go. All right, she's all done. I got the right side and left side is on, and they look really good. I like the fact that they're kind of aerodynamic, allow the wind to blow right over these wheel wells. And just to go over the fasteners again, I got 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and then I got 1, 2 on the bottom. And for some of you that might be interested, it does come with a locked key. So you can lock this so no one can break in. And if you're looking for further information on my cargo trailer camper conversion, check out my playlist area. I have a very in-depth playlist, numerous parts to it, from getting this cargo trailer, converting it completely to a camper, from, you know, you name it, framing, electrical, plumbing, it's all in there. Check out that playlist area for further information. Well, hopefully this helped you out, especially if you're looking for extra storage for your cargo trailer camper conversion or whatever trailer. I think this is going to work out really good for me. And what we're going to do is store pretty much all of our wiring in these boxes. You know, I got my 3 total 25-foot long 10 gauge solar MC4 cables in there, 25-foot 30 amp shore power extension cable with a 15 amp extension cable, along with my exterior LED light cable. That's 30 total lights. It's pretty long. All of that in that 1 box. And I still have all that room on the other side, which I've yet to fill up. I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna put in here, but that's what it's all about. Having the ability to access that stuff that you need at the campsite on the outside of your trailer. And I think that's really nice. I mean, the fact that it's pretty inexpensive. I won't say they're exactly giving these away. I believe I paid a little over $250 for these shipped to my front door. But it's a nice look. It matches, you know, the aluminum wheel wells. This is aluminum. It's got that nice diamond plating on there. It just looks really sharp, and it was pretty simple to install these once you figure out exactly where those studs are located. I think your average Joe can get these installed with ease. Well, if you got something out of this video, scratch my back, and I'll continue to scratch your back with not only subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video.